it's the art of bombing.
Like, I'm the rebel in my family because I moved somewhere where there's tar. Yeah, my folks did try to live in the Twin Cities once, and then this is maybe I was like 1, and then one day my dad Mike declared to my mother, Janice, I don't want to live anywhere you can't just take a leak outside. So they moved to Wisconsin.
I walked into the worst, for comedy, when there's a big gap between you and the crowd. It's already an uphill battle, right? But here's the worst part of this gig. Like, they actually asked me to get off stage 10 minutes into my 45-minute set.
Oh, wow.
But I started in 2003 or 2003. So I was into it enough that I know the crowd has to be close, but I was mesmerized by, there was 2 hours of hair care awards before I went on. It was for like a big spa and salon, and in 2 hours of awards, and people were getting drunker, and there was a DJ. That's why the dance floor is there. People were so far away from the stage. I was like, oh, it's gonna be hard. And I know when I made the biggest mistake anybody can ever make with a hard crowd in comedy, and I never did it ever again, was I was like, okay, they're not paying attention. They're just talking at their table. So I'm just gonna take the mic around and around in the you're cringing, aren't you? I'm gonna take the mic around in this busy, talkative, they don't even know there's a show going on, so I'm just gonna run around with the mic and ask questions. And this is before all my improv classes, so it's quite a bad idea. I was like basically making conversation. I was just like making conversation, and I had a mic, so it was getting real bad. Then I was like, okay, well, maybe they're back from the bar now, and I mean, I can't even coherently explain it. Like, this is how the show actually felt, where your brain is like, I don't even know where to start or how this goes.
It's
But
really hard when there's that gap between.
Oh, the gap is huge, and it was bar break time after the awards, and that's when I went up. I never do anything like that again. But and it was hundreds and hundreds of people, and it was so bad. And they were so kind and nice. The family that owned that spa, and I sat with them, and they had a wonderful dinner before the show, and I ate this expensive food with them. And then there was like the father-in-law owned like the largest construction company in the Twin Cities, and he's like, we'll have you for a show next year. You can do our corporate, everybody's friendly to me. And then this show tried to happen, and nobody listened, and everything that had always gone well for me tanked. And so they sent their son-in-law up. Now, this isn't just anybody telling you to get off the stage. This is saying you don't have to put yourself through this. It's okay. You can be done. It was Esera Tuaolo, former Viking turned jazz musician. He was like a Viking defensive line guy. And so like this like celebrity had to come up and tell me that I could get off stage now. And that was like, and then I went to the table to grab my coat and my purse, and nobody from the table who they were all talking to me before the show, nobody talked to me or made eye contact after.
Oh no.
And I never did any one of their corporates ever again. And I had to rush through this story very discombobulated, because it actually still hurts that I was that dumb to be like, yeah, I'll try it, instead of being like, hey, here's your money back. Can I give you some money for the dinner? This was nice to meet you all, but this isn't going to work.
Yeah, right. This is not.
And it wasn't through the company that I normally do corporates through. It was another company, and now, I check before every corporate if how close the chairs are to the stage and can we get them close to the stage. If it's a dance floor, I won't stand on the stage. I'll stand on the dance floor and talk to people, but I'm not going to stand 20 yards away from them. So now I make sure about all of that.
Where dreams like that can become reality. Faster than you could say, Hubert Humphrey wouldn't let me dig an outhouse. That was our family, having, families like that, having the outhouse digging parties. We got 8 people in your family, you have to keep moving it. Sometimes my mom was a faster reproducer than our decomposition rate, so that's why. So yeah, that was us. And one time my brother almost got ran over by a moose in a horseshoe pit. That happened. And then they put up a sign. It said moose poaching $2,000. And then there are no more moose, because people were like, oh man, they're valuable. And so, that was the end of the moose.
It's the art of bombing.